The Great Wall of China was held together with sticky rice. That isn't a joke. Over 13,000 miles of stone and brick went up by hand across mountains and rivers, and some sections used food as mortar. Every wonder on this list went up before modern machines existed, yet each one still proves what people can do with stone, belief, and time. You're about to see 8 places that prove the impossible was real. The Great Pyramid, the last survivor. The Great Pyramid of Giza remains the only original wonder of the ancient world that still stands today. Workers placed roughly 2.3 million stone blocks to build it, and the total weight reaches about 6 million tons. Builders finished it around 2560 BC, and it stayed the tallest building on Earth for over 3,800 years. A structure that old has outlasted nearly every other thing humans have built. When you stand in front of it, you're looking at a monument that had already stood for thousands of years. By the time the Romans started building the Colosseum, this pyramid was already ancient. The builders used no cranes, no engines and no computers, yet they created something that survived war, weather, and thousands of years of history. They did that with ropes, ramps, and sheer human effort. The rest of this list shows what else people could build. The Great Wall, a wall you could walk forever. One pyramid is staggering, but the next wonder stretches for thousands of miles. This wall runs more than 13,000 miles in total, and construction started as far back as the 7th century BC. Under the Qin dynasty, the heaviest work happened when builders connected older walls into one massive defense system. They built it across mountains, deserts, and rivers to keep northern invaders out. In some sections, workers mixed sticky rice into the mortar because the organic material made the bond stronger than pure lime. You can't see this wall from space with the naked eye, but that myth doesn't make the real wall any less extraordinary. For 13,000 miles, this wall shows that an entire civilization would move mountains to protect itself. Human hands set every brick, and that alone is hard to fully imagine. Petra, the city carved from a mountain. But the Chinese weren't the only ones who turned stone into protection. In southern Jordan, the Nabateans carved an entire city into rose-red sandstone cliffs around 312 BC. They called it Petra, and travelers still know it as the Rose City because of the color of the stone. You enter Petra through a narrow canyon called the Siq, and at the end of that passage the treasury appears, carved straight from the cliff face. The city grew rich and beautiful because it sat at a major trade crossroads between Arabia, Egypt, and Syria. In 2024, archaeologists found a tomb with 12 skeletons hidden beneath the treasury, proving that secrets still hide inside these walls. Petra shows that the most stunning work sometimes grows straight out of a mountain. The Colosseum, Rome's giant playground. Petra didn't exist to entertain crowds. Rome did. Construction on the Colosseum ran from 70 to 80 AD under Emperors Vespasian and Titus. The finished building could hold between 50,000 and 80,000 people, which makes it the largest amphitheater on Earth. Under the arena floor ran a complex network of tunnels called the Hypogeum, where elevators lifted animals and gladiators up to the stage. The Romans staged gladiatorial contests, animal hunts, and public spectacles that filled the city for centuries. Earthquakes and stone robbers damaged parts of it, but the shell still dominates Rome today. Ancient engineers built for more than gods or kings. They built for 80,000 people to watch a show, and they invented underground machinery to make it happen without modern engines. Chichen Itza, a pyramid that tracks time. Romans engineered for crowds. Maya engineers reached for the sky. Chichen Itza in Mexico went up between the 6th and 10th centuries thanks to the Maya, and its central pyramid carries the name El Castillo. It has 365 steps, one for each day of the year, so the pyramid itself is a giant stone calendar. During the spring and fall equinoxes, sunlight and shadow create the shape of a serpent slithering down the stairs. Nearby, the Great Ball Court is the largest ancient sports field in the Americas, and Maya culture centered its games there. This place doubled as an observatory, a calendar, and a statement that the Maya understood the movement of the sun better than most people do today. They built precision into stone without telescopes or computers, and they did it centuries before modern science. Machu Picchu, the city in the clouds. But you don't need a calendar to tell you that some places should never have existed at all. Machu Picchu sits 7,972 feet up in the Andes Mountains of Peru, and the Inca built it in the 15th century without using any mortar. The stones fit together so precisely that you can't slide a knife blade between them. Clouds often roll in and hide the entire city, which makes it feel like it's floating above the world. The Spanish conquistadors never found it, and that's the main reason it survived intact while invaders destroyed so many other Inca cities. Hiram Bingham rediscovered it in 1911, but the Inca never wrote down why they built it. Its exact purpose stays unclear, though many call it a royal estate or a religious site. Either way, it's a city built so high and so perfectly that it feels like it belongs to the sky itself. The Taj Mahal, love made of marble. The Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan raised the Taj Mahal between 1631 and 1648, as a mausoleum for his wife, Mumtaz Mahal. Artisans inlaid semi-precious stones into the ivory white marble walls by hand. Over 20,000 artisans and craftsmen worked on it along the banks of the Yamuna River in Agra. The structure shifts color depending on the light, glowing pink at dawn and gold under the moon. That's what happens when grief and devotion receive an unlimited budget, and 20 years of labor. The Taj Mahal reveals what the strongest building material really is, and it isn't stone or marble. It's memory, and it'll outlast the hands that placed it there. Christ the Redeemer, watching over Rio. Love built the Taj Mahal. Peace built the last wonder here. Construction on Christ the Redeemer in Rio de Janeiro ran from 1922 to 1931, leaving it as the youngest wonder by far. It's an Art Deco statue of Jesus Christ standing 98 feet tall with arms that stretch 92 feet wide. It sits on Corcovado Mountain, 2,300 feet above the city, and it's made of reinforced concrete and soapstone. Lightning has struck it multiple times, but it still stands as a symbol of peace and protection. They rose from different reasons, but they all endure. Conclusion: why we still protect them. UNESCO protects these 8 places, and millions of people visit them every year. They're windows into what people achieved with stone, rice, marble, and belief. No cranes, no computers, and no modern machines helped build them. What built them stayed simple. The world still holds thousands more secrets like these. Subscribe to keep exploring them with us.